You might have spotted that the Tesla community is like no other car club. There are 68 official Tesla owners clubs with tens of thousands of members worldwide. Why is that, do you think? Are Tesla vehicles providing some sort of magic that's never been offered before? There's a reason for so many Tesla fans and Petrol Head converts. If only I could find one to talk to and pick their brains. Oh, hello, Greg. Hi. Welcome to Tesla Jigsaw.
Thank
and
you.
welcome to Tesla Jigsaw, everybody. We met just about a year ago, didn't we? The Tesla Owners Club UK Standard Fully Charged.
Yeah.
And we sort of quickly became friends. And you showed me around your used but new Tesla Model 3 performance version, your lovely red one with body kit and everything. Then we've been on a few adventures since then, haven't we? We went to Scotland. We did a 4-day trip around there.
That was amazing.
Bezzing around. It was great, wasn't it? And then we've also just returned from Las Vegas, where we've just hired a Cybertruck, and that was just mind-blowing.
Yep.
And you were my impromptu cameraman. Thanks for that.
That's right.
And we even went to Milton Keynes once, didn't we?
Yes.
To the Sci-Fi Museum, which was equally nice.
That was
nice
awesome.
Day out.
Yeah.
So before we get to the question of what makes a Tesla fanatic, I'd love to know what got you into Tesla.
I've just been a technology nerd, really. So I love my cars, and then I love technology. So when I saw Tesla like out in the news and all the videos of people buying them, that's where I fell in love with just the vehicle itself. I'd never test driven one, and then when I bought mine, that was the first time I've ever driven it.
Wow.
So I just went all in. So yeah, ordered it because it was up in Birmingham. They delivered it to my house. It only had 15,000 miles on it. That was the first time I ever driven it.
So you bought it from Tesla? It was
No, this was a dealership.
Oh, right.
So they sent it down on the back of a truck.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So you already bought it. That was your first go in
Yeah.
in any Tesla.
Yeah. So I've never test driven
Wow.
one, and it was
Yeah.
like literally delivered to my house, and that was the first time I ever drove a Tesla.
Yeah, well, same as me. The first time I ever drove one was mine when we picked it up.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I liked it.
Yeah,
I'm
same.
guessing you did too. So, what were your main reasons for buying a Tesla at the time then, if you can remember what it was like?
Well, like I said, it was all the videos I was watching of people like launching the car and stuff like that. I was like, oh, it looks so fast. Me liking my cars as well. That's the sort of thing I was into. So I had a Kia Stinger before that, which was 2.5 litre diesel, but it went a bit sketchy because it was rear-wheel drive, but it was a really nice car. Looking into buying a Tesla when that got written off. So basically someone went through a red light and T-boned me.
Oh.
So that was fun. So then I got a quick car just to get me to and from work. And then that's when I started thinking, I want to go electric. So I was looking at old Model S's, then Model 3s, and then I came across this one. And I remembered back to when I did my sort of perfect car on the Tesla website. I want red on the sports edition, black interior, this, that and the other. And I was literally scrolling through Auto Trader, and there it was. It was red performance, had an autopilot built into it as well. So then I was like, I can't not get it really.
Yeah.
So just went for it, and that's it.
Cool.
Got delivered, and that was the first time I drove it. Going back to the first time driving it, I was too scared to go on sports mode, and I took my brother-in-law and my sister out, and that was the first time I thought, okay, let's try sports. And it's obviously quite pokey in chill mode, but I was not expecting that kind of kick.
Yeah.
And I just put my foot down, not really thinking too much of it, and we all were just in shock. My brother-in-law was saying he got whiplash.
Yeah.
He says it was some sort of time machine. He'd get back home and his kids have aged 10 years. So yeah, it was quite funny.
Yeah.
But,
It is brutal though, isn't it? That first snap reaction to a Tesla going fast, because, and especially, we're all sort of used to it now, aren't we? If anyone's ever driven a Tesla, but if you're coming from a Ford Fiesta 1 litre and you've never experienced super fast cars, and then your first experience is a Tesla, it's like a time warp.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, does it? That physics can do that.
No. So I knew it was going to be quick because of all the videos I saw, but I just didn't think about the sensation of it.
The actual real feelings in your brain and your eyes that are left where you started.
Yeah.
So when you first got your EV then, did you get any sort of snide comments from family, friends, colleagues or anything?
Mainly colleagues, because this is when I was still at Heathrow, and yeah, it's like, oh, here you got a Tesla, and like thinking I'm all sort of posh and whatnot. I was like, it's just another car. I took a couple of guys out in it, and they're just blown away by how smooth it was. Then I was talking to them about charging and stuff like that. But when I first got it, I didn't have any charging at home. So I was using public chargers and stuff like that. And back then I was sort of thinking, hold on, this is not saving me as much money as I thought, like on, charging. So it wasn't until I got an extension lead for my house I was in, so I could plug it in. And it was, 10 hours to charge it, but I'd get home from work, plug it straight in, and then by the time I needed it the next day, I had enough charge. Yeah. And that's when I started to see all the savings.
Yeah, it's brutal at the moment with those who have to charge publicly.
Yeah.
Compared to if you happen to have a house and you can charge. I mean, it's at least a tenth of the cost.
Yeah,
cheaper.
And I think that's what puts some people off. They start using these public charges. It's like, hold on, this isn't saving me money like everyone tells me.
Because it used to be, because the Tesla superchargers used to charge like 30 pence, and it was a lot cheaper.
It was. So now I'm saving $1,200 a month on fuel, so I'm charging for free at work. So yeah, it's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's like one of the good reasons I left Heathrow, because they had no charging for electric cars in the staff car parks. And I got this job in Farnborough, and they said, you can charge here for free. We've got an EV scheme. So if you want to buy an EV, and that's when I said I've already got one. But yeah, charging for free is nice. All that money I've been saving, it's been great. It's a lovely feeling when you get some free charge. We turn up to some wedding venues sometimes, and there's charging facilities. We're just like, it's great. We went to Leicester the other day with Frankie, my son, to do some clothes shopping for him, and we just we paid a monstrous amount for the car park, but we had free charging while we were there. So we got home with more mileage than we left with. Yeah, and it's 20 miles up the road. So nice. Still makes me feel nice, but. So, any regrets at all then from getting a Tesla or just moving to electric that you can think of? Yeah, no regrets. I honestly couldn't imagine going back to an ICE car, just for maintenance-wise, just how smooth the car is and just everything, yeah. I couldn't go back. The only thing I've said to people, because, you get the odd person going, I'm a car guy and all that. It's like, I'm a car guy. If I had the money, I'd have like a weekend car, a Mustang or something. But for an everyday car, you just can't beat it. No. In reliability and everything like that. And cost to run. Just ticks every box, doesn't it? Yeah, literally. I just watched the new Haggerty review of the Tesla Model 3 Ludicrous versus the BMW top spec ICE variety. Yeah. And it's a great video, amazing production, half an hour video, and it's more like a movie. Okay. But it's really interesting, but it just really highlights the day-to-day driving ability of a ludicrous car, which is as fast as a Lamborghini, but it's also your daily driver. I mean, it's just so difficult to weigh up both cars and go, well, the BMW makes sense. I mean, there's no world in which that makes sense when you're weighing up everything to do with owning a car. But anyway, did you imagine that the small act of buying a Tesla would just sort of change your world a bit? Because it's obviously led you into a different direction in Tesla, hasn't it? So when I first obviously got into Tesla and then went to the fully electric show, that's when I first saw the sort of Tesla community. I was like, oh, this is interesting. And they're giving away things, and I just talked to a few people saying that I'm thinking of buying one, and they said buying it second hand is just as good, especially if it's low mileage and stuff like that, because it's not like a petrol car where the clutch will be going soon and stuff like that. Yeah, and then literally the next year I'd already bought mine and it was on display, and that's when I met you. Yeah. Since then it's been Scotland road trip, Vegas, all these other things, like meeting Doug and meeting other people from the Tesla community. It's just, you just don't expect to get that sort of experience when you buy a car. Yeah. Unless it's like a Lamborghini and you're going to Lamborghini events and stuff like that. But just a standard car. I've met so many great people. So. Yeah, cool. Well, tell me about it. I mean, I didn't know that buying my Tesla was going to get me,
making me sell my house to buy Tesla shares. I didn't know it was going to make me start a flipping YouTube channel where I endlessly rant about it, let alone meeting all these fabulous people around the world and stuff. It's quite peculiar, the path that Tesla takes you on. I mean, obviously it doesn't take everyone on that path, does it? Not every person who buys a Tesla sort of gets massively involved in the whole global community or pays attention to everything, but I find it hard that you wouldn't see the sort of potential, potential of the whole company though, and how could you not get sucked into it?
I think someone's talking about it as in like a lot of people just buy it as a car, like through a work scheme and stuff like that. So they just think of it as a car. They don't see all the YouTube channels that we've seen and stuff like that, so they don't really know about the community. So when people just buy it through a work scheme, it's just a car to them. And that is like all it is. Like me joking earlier about people going, "Oh, you've got a Tesla." It's like, it's just a car.
But I think as soon as people get in one and they drive it for a while, they suddenly realise that this is leaps ahead of anything else. In terms of everything, just the software alone, just the app.
Because my mate, he's been on and off buying one. We met him yesterday. My brother drove him in his car because obviously he'd be getting a new one as well. He had a little go driving around the car park and he said it's so smooth. He loves the glass roof and stuff like that. He's like, "Is this standard?" I was like, "Everything you see in this car is standard." And I was like, "What, for the price?" It's like, yeah. It's like, that's how cheap they are now, and this is standard. It's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? I was like, yeah, exactly. Use my referral, get some money off it, and then, happy days.
Well, speaking of a referral, if you want to use Greg's referral, if you're going to buy a new Tesla, then that's it below, and I'll put a link in the description as well.
Oh, thanks.
So that gives you £500 in it, I think, and it gives whoever's buying one £500 off their car as well. So do Greg a favour, do that.
Thank you very much.
So if you had no other choice, you couldn't drive a Tesla, what EV would you choose, or what car would you choose?
Out of all the EVs I've driven, the one that's like given me the most like fun and like comfort is the Ford Mach-E.
Oh right. Okay.
That's the one that stands out to me. Like, I know people joke about the sort of fake noise that it does, but that's like another little thing that was like cool about it. Because talking about fake noises, when I had my Kia Stinger, it was a diesel, but if you put it into sports mode, that had an artificial noise as well, so to make it a bit more grunty. So I was kind of like used to artificial noises anyway. So I'd say the Mach-E would be the one, but if EVs sort of were still the old lame cars they used to be, I'd probably still want my Kia Stinger, to be honest. So that's probably like one of the best cars I've had, petrol wise.
Cool. So your brother's now got his new long range Model 3, hasn't he? Which is really nice.
I'm very tempted to get myself on it as well.
Well, that's sort of a question. But then obviously our friend Doug's just been out and bought a ludicrous Model 3, which is flipping gorgeous.
Talk about pressure.
I know. It's like I'm clinging on to my Model 3, my 5-year-old one, with the hopes of getting a refreshed Model Y. Which I thought was going to be here by now. I was wrong with that one. But I think it will be here at the beginning of next year. So I'm clinging on for that. So how are you getting on? Just trying not to buy a new one. Or
Doug keeps teasing me with all these things to buy for my car, and obviously talking about his car as well. So, but like we were talking earlier about how I'm so close to paying off my car now, and it still feels like day one, when I bought it. And it's like, I don't need a new car.
I feel exactly the same with mine. I feel so stupid for even considering buying a new car, because there's nothing wrong with ours.
No. So, the fact I'm so close to paying it off, and that's going to save me even more money in the near future, I was like, I don't need to get rid of it.
No.
I can just add things to the car to make it a bit more quirky and stuff like that, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Part of me wants to keep our car and just run it into the ground, like another 10, 15 years, because we probably could. But on the other hand, we've got a growing family, the kids are getting much bigger, a Model Y would make a lot of sense. And I would like a bit more range if we're going to do some like European trips and stuff like that.
Definitely,
so I've just talked myself out of that one. I'm not going to keep it.
Well, that's the thing, like the range isn't great on my car, but it's doable. So on the odd occasion I do go on a road trip, I'll probably have to stop a couple more times compared to like my brother and that. But it's so quick to charge these days, it doesn't really matter.
So let's try and answer this question then. What do you think makes a Tesla fanatic? Why do people get so passionate about supporting the company, or a lot of people who do. Don't they?
Yeah.
It's not.
So my experience is my love of technology, and the fact that your car just keeps getting better with updates. I upgraded to FSD, obviously. So mine's got a few features like the whole traffic light awareness and stuff like that, and that's just all been added by a software update. Yeah, that's the thing that blows my mind, because I used to get like excited when there's a new iOS for Apple phones and stuff like that, like, oh, there's new features, this, that and the other, and that's how the car appeals to me as well.
Yeah.
It's literally getting better with each update. You'll think, oh, the auto wipers are still a bit funky, then the next update they're so much better. It's like, yeah.
I think I had like 3 updates just last week.
Yeah.
So every time I plug the car, he's like, there's another one. Oh.
So it's always like bug fixes and stuff like that mainly, but
it's just that though is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you can just fix the things from previous versions and make them even better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
And it's like one of the latest updates were the auto folding when you go into reverse. You can now adjust it so it doesn't go so far down.
Yeah. I've never really needed that. Every time they've gone down, I've been like, I don't need that. It's like I can still see out my mirrors. I don't know whether everyone else feels like that.
So I think because I park along the curb a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's the only time I really use them, is getting close to the curb.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
obviously we never parallel park anymore, so
we're
very fortunate to have a driveway. How privileged. Well, we should really touch on the Cybertruck as well then, because obviously that's still in my dreams and in my mind every day. Can't believe we just went to Vegas and we hired a Cybertruck for 48 hours and just sampled FSD version 12.5. And I'm still in shock from it. I can't believe that this is going to be rolling out to everybody's Tesla. And I'm still quite confident that even with our hardware on our cars, hardware 3, AI 3 as it's known now.
Yeah,
I think there's still a very strong possibility that they will be able to back engineer the fourth, hardware 4 for hardware 3 owners.
I've seen a few videos of people with my age car with FSD, and it's just working perfectly fine. Like the guy we spoke to on our little chat on X, the Canadian guy.
Oh yeah.
And he said his car was the 2019, and obviously him using the software a lot, he could tell that his newer car's slightly better with certain things, but if you've never noticed that difference, he said his 2019 car is just as flawless. Yeah. So that kind of gave me a bit more confidence in my car being able to do it in the future.
Yeah. He said him and his wife constantly use it. They're just always using it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, it must be working really well then.
Yeah.
If it was working, if it does work for people anywhere near at the level of the Cybertruck did for us, I mean, that's most journeys all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, you still have to pay attention just in case, but I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, there was no interventions from us, was there? It was only when we wanted to take over that we took over.
So I was talking to my mate about it, because obviously he asked me how it was, and I said it's literally like someone else was driving the car.
Yeah.
It was that human like nudging forwards to see if there's something coming. But the only thing I said to him was that we thought it was doing something sketchy, but it turned out it was actually right. It was the off-ramp bit.
Yeah.
So other than that, it was a bit hesitant, but then we were hesitant as well, like, is this the right way?
Yeah.
But he just knew what he was doing after that, wasn't it?
You could just see the path, can't you, to just future iterations, just already getting better on top of that and just doing nothing but improving in the future. I can't believe it's coming. It's wonderful at last. I feel like I've been an insane person for years since we've had our car. I've been saying our car's going to be fully autonomous one day to everyone I know.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's the annoying thing is the Americans have had full self-driving for 4 years now. Yeah, they had to go through the whole beta and get all the nasty bugs out of the way.
I think
I'm happy they did that for us.
Oh yeah, because by the time it comes to us, it's going to be just like, here it is, it's done.
It's driving itself.
No, it was Brian from Future Ours was talking the other day to me, and I can't remember where it was, but he said, the previous version to version 12, version 11 was just like trash. It was terrible.
Yeah,
he made loads of mistakes. So hopefully we've seen the last of this. 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, whichever way it is. That's the hope, isn't it? So by the time it's ready for the rest of the world, it'll be just ping.
Yeah, and like we were saying, the Cybertruck was just amazing. Like I joked about it driving better than you, but that's only because we didn't know.
You're damn right it was driving better than me. There's no doubt about that.
Well, it drove better than all of us because we didn't know the road layout.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, where am I going? You know,
and as soon as you clicked on,
yeah,
3 lanes over going for a left-hand turn. It was remarkable.
Puts it simply, Cybertruck was far cooler than I was. I was definitely a bit sketchy, wasn't I? Well, anything else about the Cybertruck while we're lingering there then? Because I could talk about it all day. I'm just
how easy it was to drive, like the 4-wheel steering.
Oh God, it's so lovely.
Yeah, just getting around the car parks was so nimble.
Yeah.
For such a big car, it was so nimble. And then going to the off-road setting just puts it all the way up, and you can just enjoy a bit of off-roading without worrying about it.
It was when I got home and got sat back in my Model 3, I'm like, wow, this is compact, isn't it? Tiny.
I know, I didn't realise how much room the Cybertruck had.
It was so comfortable for all 3 of us, wasn't it?
Oh, it was,
I mean, even the back of the Cybertruck for a while, I was more than happy with the space there.
Yeah, because when I was using your phone to film, I was like wide-angle lens, just trying to get everything in.
Yeah.
It's huge. So,
so cool. It's the front of it that took me by surprise when I made you stand in front of the bonnet.
Yeah, that was weird.
To see where the front of it was. I'm like, oh, it's there.
Yeah.
I had loads of room.
And even when we were parking, I was using the front-facing camera, and we're miles away from the car, and we're like, God, it doesn't feel right.
It doesn't. Thanks for chatting to me today.
No,
it's been really nice talking to you, and thanks for all the adventures we've been on, and here's to loads more future ones as well.
Yeah, definitely.
More Cybertrucks are in our future, I hope.
Well, maybe Texas next as well.
Yeah. I'd love to. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you someone who's already in the sort of Tesla community bubble, or someone who's looking to get their first Tesla? Don't forget to use Greg's referral link if you do, and get some money off yours. I'm Will, this is the Tesla Jigsaw. Thank you, Patreons. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.